Hey, everybody, it's Mickael Beckerman, CEO of CREtech. Thanks for joining me for a few minutes today as I chat with my partner and the founder of RELEVATION, my friend Idriss Goossens. And Idriss, in my humble opinion, is really one of the stars of our global prop tech ecosystem. It's one of the reasons why at CREtech we wanted to invest in his platform and his company was his leadership, his vision, his team's extraordinary competency. And the vision is very unique and I think perfectly complementary to what we're doing on the CREtech side in the physical event space. So wanted to spend some time with Idriss today and share with our both of our respective audiences at CREtech and RELEVATION about his upcoming digital fundraising summit on June 29th and 30th of this year, which I will be speaking at, attending virtually, and I'm super excited about. So Idriss, thanks for spending some time with me today.
Thank you. I think you're a bit overselling me, but it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I don't think so, my friend. And I know a lot of people agree with what I said. So let's take a step back. You know, you've been in prop tech for a while, doing some great work in Europe. You've got a big following. You're working on the lab and many other initiatives. What was the vision behind RELEVATION? You know, when you thought about the big idea, what's the concept?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's been indeed around 10 years that I navigate in PropTech. So I started my career before that the word PropTech existed. I was in that space, not knowing it. And so in 2020, when the pandemic started, I really saw with the numbers of European PropTech Association that around 50% of all the PropTech startups in Europe could have cash flow issues, liquidity issues in the next 3 months after March 2020 because of the hibernation of the economy. You know that the fact that everything was paused, so sales cycle were on hold and everything, and so there was this huge problem of cash. And so I said I have to do something, and so I decided I saw an opportunity to create an event held completely remotely to help founders meet the relevant investors for their profile, their stage of maturity, their category, etc. And so it was the beginning of the idea to create, a transactional event in the investment in urban tech held completely remotely with a global scope. And so the first edition was a big success because I remember back in the day, there were 37 PropTech unicorns. Two founders of them present as speakers at the event, which was for me the same as saying we have Mark Zuckerberg giving a keynote. I was that excited and that proud about it. And so it's just to say that we were, I think we had a really important penetration in this very niche market, which is PropTech, but globally. And then, we met and the rest is history.
So Idriss, you and I have talked a lot about physical events versus digital events. At CREtech, we've decided we're going back all in late last year in 21 into physical events. And virtual was something we'll do periodically if it makes sense and the subject matter is very specific and unique. You're all in on digital. Explain to the audience why this event needs to be and should be and will be a virtual event. What are the advantages of doing and staging a virtual event?
That's a question I've been giving a lot of thinking about. And actually, my conclusion is that I think for transactions, digital events are way more efficient. Because I love physical events. I love it when it's educational or networking or customer care or whatever. You can go there, spend time, you get energized, you're inspired. So we need to have physical events for sure. But when it comes to a transaction, and raising capital or investing is a transaction, I think you need more efficiency because you will go to a summit, you have travel expense, you will maybe shake 25 hands for the two relevant ones, you will waste time going from one stage to the other, etc., etc. So I mean, it's a great experience, but it's not efficient. And so that's why we think when you're a founder, you want to raise capital, you want to go to the point. You want to have an event where you can meet 25 people per day, but pre-qualified, pre-targeted, so you get the complete attendees directory with the stage of maturity that the startups has of the startup have, or maybe the investment scope that the VC has. So you know that you will not reach to that specific VC if you have less than 500K in revenue, or you will not reach to this specific VC if you have above 5 million in revenue, because they do early stage and you're for a growth stage VC, you know. And so the idea is that you can really pre-qualify and meet back to back qualitative people that are relevant for you. And this can only happen, this is more efficient when it's held remotely. And the other aspect is, of course, that then you can have a global dimension.
Mhm.
You can have amazing speakers that would not commute to your event. They would not, take 5 days, or, even just one day to come and then to speak and then to. And so the idea is that they just need to log in during 30 minutes, 1 hour, maybe stay for a few meetings afterwards. And so it can really become global.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You're right. This is what we've talked about, that this is a transactional focus. It's great content, but it's really all focused around helping startups and investors connect in the most efficient, effective way. So yeah, it's spot on. Tell us about the event. So I know some incredible speakers. It's all on the website. Got a lot of attendees coming from around the world. I know a lot of the venture folks that are attending late stage, and got some fireside chats, and you've got panel discussions. I'm excited to lead one. Thank you. So tell us, in your mind, what are you most excited about in terms of the content, and how does it work?
So maybe before jumping into the content, the content program, let me share a bit of the concept more broadly. So because we have a couple of news this year, right? So we started matching VCs with founders, but this year we expanded this, matching as well GPs with LPs. So, fund managers with fund investors, and as well founders with exit partners. So it means that we have invited a number of exit partners which have recently acquired PropTech solutions, the Autodesk, Nemetschek, MRI Software, Yardi, etc. Some of these guys. And so the idea is that we also facilitate exits or M&As. And the last new segment of people that we invited, and I'm really proud of this, is high potentials. So students or young graduates from top 10 world-class universities. So we basically partner up with the universities to offer for free tickets to all their students and young graduates. So we don't get any euro out of this, but we facilitate the access to talent. And we know that the talent is the most important resource in a company. And so the idea is that you can join Relevation to recruit, to do an M&A, or to close a fundraising round, or to invest, right? And so, for instance, we have Cambridge, we have IE Business School from Madrid, University of Minnesota, University of Virginia, Northwestern University. Amazing universities globally. Now, when it comes to the content of program, and this is maybe the point that I'm actually the most proud of, I think also thanks to you guys, we have assembled the best content of program that we had so far historically. So we'll discuss a lot around climate and more broadly impact, social impact, environmental impact, because it's one of the most important topic today. It's not only a sectorial topic; it's a societal. Almost an existential topic, right? And so we'll deep dive into what does it mean, impact investing in PropTech, how to qualify the impact that you can have. We'll discuss the future of cities. So we have we'll discuss also the innovation strategies of large real estate corporates. So we have Jamestown LPs, we have Oxford Properties, we have JLL Technologies, like a lot of real estate corporates. We'll discuss as well the rise of PEs and SPACs and large investment rounds, because we have seen recently a number of huge rounds and SPACs with Zig Capital, with SoftBank. So really proud to have them on board. And as well, a topic which is maybe not enough discussed, I think, is the link between well-being, or specifically mental health, and real estate. And so to deep dive into this topic, we have, for instance, Solar Impulse Foundation and Well Certification. And then, I mean, all the usual suspects are there, you know, like the PropTech, Fifth Walls of Sustainable Future Ventures, PyLabs, Fundamental, all of the most important VCs, I think, are present, and so contribute to this. And it's great because they want to be involved, they want to support us because they see that this event has value for them. And I think it's maybe probably the only event where they all meet to discuss co-investment opportunities, to discuss follow-on investments, to really do specific business in their core business. So they don't only speak to real estate corporates, they don't only get information, inspiration, they really are on business, you know. So it's really an event made for them, and so exciting.
Yeah, and I love too the fact that, you know, just looking at the roster of speakers, that you truly have achieved two things with the roster. One, you've got great diversity, which is important to both of us, and two, the reach. No pun intended to my friends at Reach. They're there, but the global reach. I see so many great venture investors from the U.S. like Canberra Creek, Building Ventures, Second Century Ventures, and and then you've got obviously Europe, you've got Latin America, you got APAC. I mean, it's you've turned this into a global fundraising prop tech summit, which is really quite remarkable given that you've only done a few of these. So kudos to that, my friend. And then finally, from my perspective is, you know, you and I, we speak a lot, and we speak about our ambitions and our goals and our, you know, our own KPIs of what success means. You know, at CREtech, we always want to be moving globally. We want to be attracting as many new participants to the events as possible. And we want to obviously move very aggressively towards climate tech. When I ask you about Relevation, what does success mean to you, and where are you going with this long term in your mind?
That's a tough question because I guess the answer is multidimensional. So first, I think the success would be a synonym of the fact that some founders, which are brilliant founders, met the right people during Relevation. They initiated a conversation. 6 months after, they closed a fundraising round. Then they grew and they became category leaders. They became unicorns or whatever. And all of this started at Relevation. You know, so if I can play this role of helping founders improving the built world, having a positive impact on, that's a huge success. And so that would be a first element. Of course, so we could sum up this to say, you know, the idea is to, I mean, our metric of success could be the number of digital handshakes that we do, because we know that the founders will not close fundraising rounds during the events. They will only start conversation. They will close 6 to 8 months after. So we are aware of that, but we try to track this. And of course, there is also another dimension, which is the financial success of the event, and that's also linked to the business model. You know, it's digital, so there is no cost, etc. But we still have financial objectives, obviously, to be able to grow, to be able to have more people, to be able to build on the offering, build a digital platform where people could have access 24/7, etc. So we need to do a bit of research and development. But on the long term, the vision is more than this, I think. I think we started as a 2-day digital event. But what we want to do ultimately is probably to contribute to define the industry standards. What are the valuation trends? what are some deal references, etc., to become a sort of reference, or to contribute basically to become a reference, and also to maybe bring more efficiency in this sector, because we need, there are a lot of dry powder available, there are a lot of founders, but raising capital is such a painful process. You know, it takes 8-12 months, because often founders don't knock at the right doors, they don't have introductions, etc. So there is a lot of inefficiencies there. And so if we could bring more efficiency, speed up the fundraising process in urban tech, at the end of the day, it would improve the life of everyone's, because today, 6 people out of 10 live on cities, but in 2050, it will be 7 people out of 10. And you know that we spend 85% of our time indoor. So we could say that PropTech dominates any aspect of our daily lives. And so we need to improve any aspect of this, from air quality, energy efficiency, mutualization of parking, access control, I mean, all of that, you know. And so that would be the idea. We start as a digital event, and we end up by, you know, being a sort of marketplace.
Yeah, I love the vision. Obviously, I'm all in, and you know, I feel so strong that what you're doing in this environment today is more important than ever. It is harder to raise capital than it's been in a while, and yet the capital is needed now more than ever, because we're really starting to see some scaling in the world of prop tech. So these young emerging companies need capital. There's some great ones out there for venture. You've created a platform for matchmaking the two sides of the marketplace. And there is no prop tech, urban tech, climate tech without capital, without fundraising. And so you're providing an incredibly valuable resource to the industry. So I'll be there June 29th and 30th. My friend, I'm looking forward to my panel. You've got me connecting with some extraordinary speakers. I hope to do you proud. I'll try my best. And
no doubt.
Tell the audience where they could get more information that want to attend the event.
So everyone, see you on relevation.org. So relevation is not revelation. Relevation is real estate elevation. So relevation.org, and then you can grab the tickets before that we are sold out.
Yeah, can't wait, my friend. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, super exciting. See you there, my friend.